Hello and welcome to this edition of Eat Right with Rouses. I'm your host, Keith Weiss. I thank you so much for joining us as we welcome in our favorite dietitian with Rouses, April Sins. Hi, April.
Hi, Keith. How are you doing today?
I am very, very well. And I want you to know I don't always eat a whole lot of pasta. I'm careful with that. But I want you to know this week I had my first pasta dish at home.
Oh, well, good. Yes. And it's so easy to cook at home. That's
Right?
part of the brilliance of it. So,
Right?
yeah, so it's National Pasta Month for October. And so I thought it would be fun for us to talk about a few ways that we can use pasta at home. And one thing we're going to do is we are going to make a dish, a simple pasta, chicken, and broccoli dish. A
Wow.
great one pot meal that makes it super simple to be able to cook this at home. So I'm going to get this started. And while this starts, I'm going to tell you a few of my favorite things about pasta for National Pasta Month.
Okay.
Now, what I'm doing right now is I'm going to heat up a pot, put a little bit of chicken broth in the bottom of it, and then I'm going to start to kind of cook and soften up some broccoli. So I have some
Okay.
chopped fresh broccoli right here, just making it super simple. And what this is going to be is you're going to have your vegetable in this dish, you're going to have some chicken for some protein, and you're going to have some pasta for some carbohydrates as well. So what I'm going to do is just start this off, let this kind of get simmering for a little bit, and then it's just going to soften. Now, one of my favorite things about pasta is that you can make some really great budget friendly meals. A lot of people are trying to make their dollar stretch, and so pasta is actually a great way to do that. Now, when you're thinking about pasta, you're thinking, I know a lot of people think, oh, carbs, carbs, but carbs are okay as part of a balanced diet. So just think about your what you're eating as a whole and balance it out. Now, let me show you a couple of my favorite. Now, one of my favorite is the Rouses whole wheat pasta. Love this because it does give us a little bit more fiber. And then we also have so many different types of Rouses pastas as well. But this is the one I'm using today because it is the, I don't know if I say this right, fusilli
Mm-hmm.
noodles. And what I like about those is they're fun because they're curly in the dish, and they just make the dish look so nice. But you could use any pasta. Another thing too is there are gluten free options of pasta. So this one right here in particular is a brown rice pasta. So
Oh,
that one is a gluten free option. So look around, and you can also find some other types that are made from beans and lentils. You can find so many different types of pasta type of dishes. Now, this is steaming in the pot right here. And what we're going to do is we're going to add a little bit of olive oil in here. You want to steam that enough to make it nice and soft, but not overdone. Okay.
okay.
I'm adding a little bit of my favorite Rouse's olive oil right here. You want to get you some award winning olive oil at Rouse's. And then we're going to add in some chicken. Now, you want to use some chicken that is cooked already. So if you don't have cooked chicken, make sure you cook it first. But this is actually some canned chicken. This is actually chicken out of like the little package that you don't even have to drain.
All
So
right.
I'm keeping it really, really easy. And then some garlic. Okay, so I have some minced garlic I'm going to add right here. We're going to cook this down. And then once you get this cooked down a little bit more, we're going to add a little bit of white wine if you want, if you like to cook with white wine, or you can
Hmm.
add a little bit more chicken broth. But the white wine kind of deglazes the bottom, which means it takes up the little bits that get stuck at the bottom of the pan. And then we're
Oh,
going to add the star of the show. We're going to add the pasta, and we're going to have a nice dish. I already have this pasta boiled, and we're going to just mix this together and have this nice pasta dish to be able to serve to the family.
mm,
A couple of other things, Keith, is that pasta is so family friendly and kid friendly. It's a great way to add some vegetables into the pasta. Even if you're making, your pasta and your pasta sauce, you can also add some more vegetables into there and just really make an easy family friendly dish. And in addition to that, think about your athletes
mm.
at home. So if you have some athletes at home, remember they do need some food that's going to give them some energy to sustain them in their activities. And pasta is a great way to do that. Combine it with your protein, your vegetables, and you really have a great winning dish.
Yeah, and so it's so very simple. I love the fact that you can just throw the broccoli in, let it soften a little bit, because I think that's one of the things that people have trouble with is the texture of broccoli. But if you soften it a little bit before you put the chicken and the pasta in, it makes it so much easier because that broccoli now is going to blend with the pasta much better.
Oh, certainly. And it really adds a lot of color to the dish as well, where you can see that broccoli in there just adds a nice pop of color. And you can also change it up. If you would rather add some sliced carrots in here, you can do that as well. Or you can add both and just kind of have a little rainbow of flavors in there. But just think about all the different things that you can combine with pasta because you're not necessarily eating it by itself. So think about how you can balance it out by adding some nice lean proteins in there, adding some vegetables in there, and having that great combination of a balanced meal.
Yeah, so you get a little bit of the fat from that award-winning olive oil. You get the pasta, so we get our carbs in good balance with the vegetable of the broccoli and the protein of the chicken. It's kind of a perfect dish, and you've just shown how easy you can do that very quickly. So, as always, April, you've made Aaron and I very hungry, and now we're going to want to go out and make this dish. Wonderful. We appreciate it very, very much.
Thank you so much, Keith.
All right. And that will do it for this particular segment of Eat Right with Rouses. Don't go anywhere. A lot more local programming right here on HTV.